In Lesson 5.4, Estimating Products, our objective is to provide practice estimating whether a product is in the tens, hundreds, thousands, or more. The U.S. Department of Agriculture conducts a survey to find out how much food Americans eat. A large number of people are asked to keep lists of all the foods they eat over several days. These lists are then used to estimate how much food was eaten during a particular year. On average, American eats more than 2,000 pounds of food each year. This is about 5.5 pounds of food per day. Results below are shown. So you see that on average, a person would eat 16 pounds of apples, 27 pounds of bananas, 5 pounds of broccoli, 10 pounds of carrots, 255 eggs, 13 pounds of fish, 28 cups of yogurt, 17 pounds of ice cream, and 350 cups of milk. Some of this information may actually surprise you. And this information has probably changed. This information was collected in 2002. But what's meant by the average American is, some people may eat more than 5.5 pounds of food per day, some will eat less. But if we divide it into equal shares, that's about how much it would be. So let's take apples, for instance. Let's imagine how many apples students in our class would eat in 1 year. So if on average someone eats 16 pounds, and we have 29 people in our class, we don't need to find an exact number, we just want an estimate. So 16 would be closest to 20, and 29 would be closest to 30. So if we wanted a quick estimate of the product, and product means the answer when you multiply, you would take 20 times 30. So go ahead and take 2 times 3, which is 6. Remember, we'll add the zeros at the end. So on average, our class would eat about 600 pounds of apples in any given year. Let's find out how many glasses of milk all of the students at Sibley would drink in 1 year. So if I look at this list, we have 350 cups times approximately 575 students at Sibley Elementary. Again, we just want an estimate, so we want something pretty close. So what we're going to do is we're going to round this to the nearest hundred. That would be closest to 400, and 575 would be closest to 600. When we multiply these, we're going to take the 4 times 6, which is 24, and then I'm going to count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, and add those zeros onto my product. I would go ahead and read it as 240,000 cups of milk at Sibley that we would drink in a given year. Now I want you to try it on your whiteboard. Let's go ahead and take bananas. On your whiteboard, I want you to write 27, and let's find out how many bananas our class would eat in a given year given this information. We have 29 students in our class. Go ahead and write that down on your whiteboard. Now we don't need an exact answer, but we want an estimate. So go ahead and round 27 to the nearest 10 and do the same thing to 29. You're going to get two numbers here that are easy to multiply. Go ahead and multiply those. Stop your video and go ahead and complete this. So in this box, you should have written 30 times 30. Go ahead and take 3 times 3, which is 9. Add your 2 zeros behind it. And on average, our class would eat 900 bananas in a year. Show that to your teacher as she walks by. Let's go ahead and try another one. Let's take 255 eggs. So on your whiteboard, write 255, and let's go ahead and multiply this by the number of people in your family. So you fill in this place. Now we're not going to go ahead and multiply yet, we're going to estimate. So round 255 in your whiteboard to the nearest 100. Go ahead and do that. Now you're going to multiply that by the number in your circle. So in my family, we have 5 people. Yours might be a little bit different. But I don't need to round that because I can easily take 3 times 5, which would be 15, and add my 2 zeros behind it. So in my family, on average, we would eat 1,500 eggs. Now remember, that might be eggs that are in an omelet. It might be eggs that are made in some sort of other dish. I just want an approximate answer. Let's try one more estimation on your whiteboard. So the average person's life expectancy in the United States is 77 years. Now imagine that that person lived 77 years, and on average, a person eats 30 pounds of cheese every year. So in my lifetime, I want to know how many pounds of cheese I might eat. Now, 77, I just want to make this easy. I'm going to make this an estimate. So I'm going to round 77 to the nearest 10. So go ahead and do that on your whiteboard. Thirties are rounded already to the nearest 10, so all I would have to do is write that again. Now go ahead on your whiteboard, take 8 times 3, and add in your 2 zeros. Go ahead and complete that and show your teacher. On average, you're going to put 2 zeros behind it. You would eat 2,400 pounds of cheese in your lifetime. You are now going to practice estimating some averages on journal page 115. Remember, you are rounding to the nearest tens, hundreds, or thousands. Make sure to write the number model.